What's going on, y'all? Let's take a look at this video you guys sent me from Legal Mindset. And it's going to be talking about Hasan. Hasan's nasty as hell. Y'all already know how I feel about that. I already know how I feel. I think Hasan is nasty. But let's check out what Legal Mindset has to say. See what's going down out here in these streets. These YouTube streets, that is. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't.
Again, as he goes on a harassment spree.
Shout out to Legal Mindset.
Hasan Piker is in hot water yet again as he goes on a harassment spree. We're going to talk about today on the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm, of course, Andrew Esquire, American attorney, and this is a Fast Facts video, which brings you the quick and dirty version.
Fancy ass name right there. That just sound like he about to win a case. Esquire. Let me get in trouble and get a lawyer. Man named Esquire, son, I'm gonna be hyped. I already know I won this thing. It seemed like he played lawyer as a childhood game.
Version of the latest in legal news. If you like the Fast Facts, make sure to like the video and leave a comment below. So Hasan, once again, is not learning from the past, is not learning from people telling him what to do because Twitch is not punishing him for previous bad behavior. And once again, we have Hasan engaging in activities which may very well violate California law and certainly violate Twitch's terms of service. So let's get into the videos, which I posted on my account on X, where he goes through the prohibited behavior. So we'll play that right here and let you guys take a watch.
Yeah. Dylan Burns, Hunter Avalon, Hutch, Destiny's Own Personal Chef. Like this is what happened. This is what took place. Okay. And the PAC actually did unironically raise a bunch of money off of like people who thought that they were giving money to a political action committee that was going to go around and you know do door knocking campus operations, which they.
So you see there, and that's the end of the clip, where he is exposing these people, you know, Dylan Burns, Hunter Avalon, etc., all their names, their city, their state, their zip code, right? He's putting out all their personal information.
That's what I thought that was, y'all. That's crazy. He just doxed all of them. Oh, man. That's definitely illegal. I was wondering, I'm like, why is all that blurred? Because he doxed their personal information
here on the internet. And the problem with that is when you have 30,000, 20,000, 40,000 people watching live and then the replays get a bunch, they get replayed everywhere, people react to them. So we're looking at potentially millions of eyeballs on this information. You're putting those people in a position where anybody who doesn't like them, right, in this civil war that's going on what might be called the online left, not that the political affiliations matter because they're completely irrelevant. Whether this happens on the left or right, it is still potentially illegal because these people's information is now out there. They're putting it out in a way where any enemy, any person who hates them, whatever, that sees that is incentivized to go out there and take some sort of action, especially knowing that things like this have happened in the past. For example, with Hunter Avalon, who's on that list, has had an incident in the past where he was almost killed with the crazy ex who came and shot his girlfriend.
Hunter Avalon used his girlfriend as a human shield and hid behind her.
That whole situation. So you've got a history here where this can happen when information is put out there. And you're putting these people at risk. This is something that a reasonable person whose information is put that on the internet in front of hundreds of thousands of people, potentially millions, is going to be afraid of. And that's what people who have seen this and reacted to this are saying. For example, here is Hutch, who is talking about this scenario and how it's violative of at least the Twitch TOS.
Not only was he doing these baseless accusations, he doxed us. He doxed us.
That's crazy.
He doxed. It's like prominently featured on his screen. Like, hello? Hello? Are we like, I don't know what to say, man. I mean, like, I reported the VOD. The VOD is still up, like you can find the VOD on his channel. I reported the VOD. I sent an email to.
And that's the edited version. Yo, that's wild. The edited version. Yeah, that's nuts, bro. That's nasty work.
Like Twitch support.
Super
I added
nasty
them.
Work.
Like if there's no consequence for this, like I don't know what there's just no rules. Like I don't understand. It's a blatant violation of Twitch's doxing policy. Like if you go to their policy.
So he streamed it. This got doxed to mad people, and then edited it and still uploaded it, doxing him, all these people again.
Which we'll go to later as well.
This is what it says about doxing. Doxing of any kind is prohibited by Twitch's community guidelines, even if the perpetrators only expose information available via the public record.
And that's the key there. So even under Twitch's policy, even if that information is in the public record, even if it's something that's out there, that's something that's against their policy. So even if you could find that somewhere online, right? Even if that's posted somewhere online, that's not good enough. And by the way, for California law, that's also not good enough. Once again, not every state has these laws, but some states do, which is why it can indeed constitute cyber harassment, right? And we're going to talk about the two California laws that this clearly would fall within the scope of if law enforcement decide to actually look at this and take this seriously. The first one is electronic harassment. That's under 153.2 of the California Penal Code. And that one reads, every person with intent to place another person in reasonable fear for his safety or the safety of their family by means of electronic communication and without consent, of course, these people didn't consent, and for the purpose of imminently causing the other person unwanted contact, injury, harassment by a third party, and they electronically distribute, publish emails, hyperlinks, or make available personal identifying information, including but not limited to a digital image or electronic message of a harassing nature, which would be likely to incite or produce an unlawful action. It's guilty of a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year in jail or by a fine of not more than $1,000 or by both fine and imprisonment. So you see that here. So what do we have with electronic harassment? It doesn't in this statute anywhere say that the information has to be quote unquote private or secret or confidential. No, even public information that contains that identifiable information, the name, the address, the state, the city, all that stuff where someone could come and find them and harass them and would incentivize people. And we know there are unhinged people. We see it every day, particularly in the United States, guys. We see it all the time where people are just going to people's houses, attacking them, doing crazy things, unhinged things, illegal things.
Which it's disgusting, especially as a content creator, right? So far, and I ain't no victim, so I don't want to talk about this too crazy, but 2 times people have tried to fight me in real life based off of internet, as in like they ran up on me and hypothetically in a video game, we got into fisticuffs. I don't think that's, what's the word about I want to use? That's inexcusable. I don't think that there's any reason for that in any way, shape, or form. It's based off of people being in their feelings off of me having an opinion. So I do think that that's takes it up a whole nother level.
And it's very likely to incentivize that unlawful action. And the only criteria here is whether it seriously alarms, annoys, torments, or terrorizes a reasonable person. And let's be honest, if any of you out there at home had your address and home showed on a stream with 50,000, 100,000 people that were, maybe 500,000 that are going to watch that video, yeah, I'm sure you would be at least annoyed, right? Seriously annoyed. So it would meet that standard. The other thing is there's no legitimate purpose to his doxing. Look, this is not to have some sort of fundraiser. This is not, a business saying, hey, go buy from them or whatever else. This is somebody's personal address at home, right? So there's no...
Yeah, there was no reason for him to do it besides, I guess, so much cockiness that he didn't really think it mattered. That he could just do whatever he wants. And him not knowing how to do his actual job, there was no reason to dox those people. As much as I don't like Hunter Avalon, I'm not in support of doxing, you know what I mean? So I think that was real nasty of Hasan to do. I don't even think, maybe he did it on purpose. So I can't even say it was idiotic, but he did it.
Good reason why you need to be giving out that information. And, look, the penalty is not crazy. It's 1 year in jail. It's not a life sentence. It's not the death penalty, right? But there is a consequence for this action, and this could stack with multiple people. Yes, that could stack up. The other statute is number 646.9. This is a California Penal Code. And this is when any person willfully, maliciously, or repeatedly follows or willfully, maliciously harasses another person and who makes a credible threat with intent to place that person in reasonable fear or the safety of their family. And that's once again punishable by the same penalty. So to harass, once again, means to seriously alarm, annoy, torment, or terrorize, right, through your conduct. Okay? And it can be electronic. So credible threat means verbal or written, including performance.
Yeah, he might go down. For sure. Maybe not from Twitch because that's their baby. They treat Hasan like he a golden child. They get away with everything.
Through the use of an electronic communication device. So when you're using the internet, that counts. That's enough, right? And what is this intending to do? Well, it's intending to alarm, annoy, torment, terrorize those people. There's no legit purpose for this. And you don't need to prove under these statutes, the cyber stalking statute, or rather the stalking statute that has a cyber element, it does not require you to prove that they're actually harmed, just that you are causing them fear. And I think, once again, a reasonable person would be in fear after hearing this under California law. So, you could stack up those two charges. So. Look at that. Just those two charges from one person. Well,
imagine if everybody put them charges on him. It's a wrap. He's going down.
It's up to 2 years there and a fine. I mean, that's pretty serious time there. Now let's look at Twitch's liability. So Twitch, at this point, we heard Hutch say he's informed Twitch. And I'm sure there's other people that have. So at this point, Twitch knows. Twitch cannot say they don't know. Dan Clancy cannot say, I was unaware of this. I didn't know this was happening.
They're going to pretend like they didn't. They're going to act like they didn't know nothing much.
And at this point, under their own policy, which very much describes doxing as showing the real name, contact information, social security number, and home address. So you've got the three: real name, contact, home address. You've got that information out there that he's putting out there that's clearly doxing. Now, they do have another section, which I'm not showing here, which says, okay, well, not all doxing is necessarily illegal. If something is public, it's not necessarily illegal. And that is true because in certain states, it's only private information or confidential information, etc. In other states, the statutes are ambiguous, but California is pretty straightforward. California includes information even that is public. And
so it sounds like he done. Sound like he messed up big time. Let's see, man. I think he's nasty, and something like this was bound to happen. Eventually, do I think his fans care? No. They probably took that as a sign to go after everyone that was on the screen.
In their policy, it doesn't matter either. Just like was read earlier, doxing of any kind is prohibited under Twitch's community guidelines, even if the perpetrators only expose information available via public record. So you see right there, it doesn't matter if the PII was public. If it's released without consent, file a report, will investigate and enforce against the doxer if appropriate. So they're choosing to say that his behavior is okay. And what I'm saying here is they've been informed, they've been alerted, they allow this. At this point, they're allowing it repeatedly. It's not just a one-time thing. I've talked about this before. This has gone again and again. It's a clear violation of the terms of service. It's openly disregarded due to bias. And at this point, it's not speculative at all. There's a
facts. If he gets no penalty for this, we already know what it is. Even though I think that was pretty much the case from the beginning. I think we already knew what it was.
Bias here. They've got Hasan as the golden boy. We get it. We get it. We get it. He obviously gets a slap on the wrist when everybody else would get a permanent ban or a very, very, very long-term ban for the exact same conduct. This opens the door to future escalation to situations like what happened to Hunter Avalon, unfortunately, right? No one wants these things to happen. Of course, if there was a situation where somebody, unfortunately, had an incident where there's an assault, a battery, even, like I said, an attempted murder, right? These things can all happen. If this happens, Twitch will then have blood on its hands because they have known this stuff could happen.
They should have corrected it. And with all the streamers that copy Hasan, that's going to do exactly everything that he does. Oh yeah, it's a wrap. Right, you put so many people at risk.
They have known these situations can't happen, and they have ignored that. when a third party takes action based on what Hasan is doing or based on what any other content creator on Twitch is doing, that can come back to them. That can absolutely come back to them, and it will. And it's playing with fire. It's absolutely dangerous. It's reckless. And at this point, it's willful. It's willful. They know what they're doing, and they're choosing willfully to ignore it. but I want to know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will catch you on.
I think this is nasty work. I think it's, I ain't gonna say it's gonna be over for Hasan, right? Because I think he's at a point when it comes to wokeism where almost too big to fail, right? It would have to take a lot. It would take criminal charges, like actual criminal charges, not allegations. So if these do go through, we'll see. Time will tell. Tell me what you think down in the comment section. Hit the like button. Share the video as well. And if you want to support me extra, sign up for Patreon. It helps me out. Helps me keep going so I don't disappear for 5 months again from creating content.